Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Director Watch, an Awards Watch podcast that attempts to get inside the mind of cinema's greatest auteurs, explore, drive them, and maybe we go on a few unrelated tangents along the way. I'm Ryan McQuade, the executive editor here at Awards Watch, and joining me, as always, is my main man, my co-host, Jay Ledbetter.
Ryan, sometimes there's a film that you just watch and you're like, this is the one that I relate to on a personal level from personal experience. And that's what we're talking about today. Menace II Society. Is it Menace II Society?
Well, I was confused by this because I was searching the internet for the first film, for Menace Society, right? Menacing Society. Yeah. And I went in this just
it's like iRobot.
Yeah, it was like, I guess this is like, because it's so acclaimed, it's like the Dark Knight of this Menace Society sort of series. So I just like, buddy, I'm telling you, I just straight up watched this without watching the first one. So I'm a little confused, and maybe you can shed some light on it since you, I guess, have a little bit of personal experience, it seems like, with this. Or
well, I mean, I can't speak to sort of the history of the film series itself. I'm speaking more to my relationship to the characters and their experience in the film. But it sort of reminds me of what's the Chinese animated movie from this year? Ninja 2?
Sure. What is
It's
it? The
sort of like
A24 film?
A24 film. Did they capture that?
Didn't they buy it? They bought the US rights?
I don't know. It's like the third highest grossing movie in history.
I feel like it's weird that you made a joke and didn't know lickety shit about anything about the film.
Well, the thing about it is it's Ninja 2, and nobody in America knows anything about the first one.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is sort of...
But it's not like Ninja also.
Ninja as well.
Yeah, exactly.
In addition,
Ninja. I think what we're trying to get at here is we are the most underqualified people to be doing this series, which is the Hughes Brothers. And
this is the kind of series I love. It's we know Paul Thomas Anderson.
We do. We actually just were off the phone with him.
Territory.
Really.
You know, there's a lot of people who have talked PTA.
We talked PTA. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying that I love doing that, but
Okay.
a lot of people talk about PTA.
Okay.
The Hughes brothers, in addition to highlighting black filmmakers, which in and of itself is worthwhile, we sort of get to go in with a little bit of a blank slate because people don't analyze their filmography in the same way that people have analyzed the films of PTA. So
absolutely
it really is going into, or even Ozu, you know, I mean, how many essays have been written about Ozu? This is a blank slate, and we get to try and not just put the puzzle pieces together, but kind of construct the puzzle itself.
It's once again discovery, but it's discovery in a different way, and it's also highlight the fact that, you know, it's not to pat ourselves on the back or anything. It's just, this is this type of stuff we like to do on the show because it only makes us better as cinephiles, as people that love movies, to watch films from diverse backgrounds and from areas of the world so that we can understand. Plus, there are also great lessons to it. And I think that, like last year when we did Carl Franklin, there were some great lessons to be taught in there, and also some sad, harsh realities that were found at the core of the end of that series as well too. And so with the Hughes brothers, they're very interesting. That, you know, they have some popular films that we'll talk about here in a couple of weeks, but they also have a movie here that is a very popular debut.
Criterion.
Of the Criterion 4K.
Not just Criterion 4K. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the very few.
Looks amazing.
It's an incredible box. Really great job.
Great box. A slipcover that isn't overdone.
A slipcover that kind of like, that has great color on it, and just great design. And they really took care of this one, which is great. You know, it's God, we talked about this before, but they could really screw up a box set, it feels like. And
Practical packaging.
yeah, just makes
Don't
sense.
screw up a
No,
slipcover.
just let me get in there to get to the disc so I can watch the movie. I
But it
don't
is
need
much, I mean, it's more
clutter.
elaborate than others. The slipcover does have a cutout in it.
Yeah,
It's not just
but I don't have
a
a problem with it.
box.
No,
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
have a
They did a
problem
good
with it.
job with it.
No,
Very good job with it.
it's a very good job. And so we're here to talk about Menace II Society, the Hughes brothers. Jay, have you been familiar with their work before? Did you know, even watching, maybe have you seen any of their films before?
The only one I've seen is The Book of Eli, which I saw in theaters.
Okay. And that's was like what, like I guess when it came out, so like 20 years ago or something like that.
15
15 years
probably.
ago, yeah.
Yeah.
And but you didn't know exactly who they were when you walked into Book of Eli.
I did not go into The Book of Eli thinking, I can't wait for this Hughes Brothers film. I must admit. But now that I kind of have started understanding that stuff more since then, I'm super excited to dig into their filmography, especially knowing the reputation of this film and especially now after seeing it, there's
Yeah.
a lot to dig into.
No, 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 for sure. And for me, I've seen two of their films, but it's been a while since I've seen Book of Eli. I'm like you, I saw that in theaters, but obviously because we stand Denzel
That
on
was a
this
Denzel
podcast.
movie when I saw it, not a
Yeah,
Hughes Brothers film.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I do own that, and then there's another film of theirs that's big in the household, and that's From Hell, which we'll talk about in a couple weeks.
From Hell.
Which is
Haven't seen
not
that one. I actually have no idea what that's about.
cool. Actually, keep it that way.
Okay.
Now it's not a I you kind of want to go into that one a little bit blind.
I know it as my main man,
Your
Johnny B.
guy, but my wife's a big fan of that film and of the subject matter that surrounds that film as well. She's been lobbying to come on that episode. I don't know if Jay's going to allow it or not.
But I'll allow it.
You allow it?
Absolutely.
I don't think you
Yeah.
want that.
I'm just waiting for whenever we do the series on whoever directed Devil Wears Prada, then my wife will be on.
Wait, have we looked that up before?
We're going to now.
We're gonna do it now. Was it? I feel like its first name was David.
Let's see if you're right.
David Frankel.
David Frankel, Ryan with the win.
Yeah.
An embarrassing thing that you just did. Other
Like,
films that he has directed:
did he do Hope
Collateral
Springs?
Beauty, Hope Springs,
Did he do
Marley and Me,
the Big Year?
The Big Year,
Yes. God damn it!
Jerry and Marge Go Large. What is that? Is that Bryan Cranston one?
It's the March. It's
Yeah.
the Bryan Cranston and Annette Bening film about them
Yeah,
being
yeah,
in
yeah.
the lottery scheme.
Sounds pretty good. No, it does not.
I feel like that's like a Peacock original.
I mean, man, the back to back of Devil Wears Prada and Marley and Me he was the king of Hollywood.
Did you like Marley and Me?
Never seen it.
Never seen it, man.
Mm-mm.
I
Just
remember seeing it.
passed on that one.
It's actually a pretty good movie.
I believe you, but I don't want to see a dog die. Not into it.
Not into it.
No.
Not something that you want to do on a Friday night with the lady.
Pass.
No. Hey, son, come and watch this movie about a dog dying.
No, I'd rather watch Menace to Society, a light, breezy film
The
where no
wife
one
what?
dies.
The wife watched. No,
And
nobody dies in this movie. She liked
She
it.
liked it. She was very into it. Yes.
That's
She was
shocking.
grabbed by it. I agree. It was shocking because
I know Allie's taste. I think I know Allie's taste based off of what you
it's
said.
sort of
versus what
Devil
you
Wears
talked about.
Prada core.
Yeah, it's something borrowed. 27 dresses, like some of that stuff.
She likes 27 Dresses.
Yeah,
10 Things I Hate About You.
yeah, something
She
like
likes a lot. But
Nancy. When we did Nancy, when we did Nancy, you guys must have like really
she was
been in like
huge
the
on
zone.
that series. She was stoked for that one.
Yeah, she was like, "Good job, Ryan. Real smooth. Way to pick
But
that
then
one." It
every now and then when I watch
was the
one of
Malik
the
series. Was
artier
rough.
ones
Yeah.
for the Malik series, she was out on.
Was Ozu
But
rough for her?
whatever. Ozu wasn't even. I didn't even consider showing her one of those. But The Graduate, she adores. She
Yeah.
loves The Graduate. Yeah, and I love when
Does
I
she
can
like
show
Heartbreak Kid?
something like that. I don't think she watched that with me.
She would. I think she'd like it.
I mean, it's a great movie.
I think
But the
she'd like
problem
A
is
New Leaf, honestly.
she is averse to films that feel old,
Mm.
and there's not a good transfer of the Heartbreak Kid, so I think that's a bit of a non-starter
I
for
think
her.
she'd like A New Leaf, though.
I think she would if she gave it a chance. That's one that even with a modern transfer just looks old.
I think I could talk to her. I think we could have
Okay,
Hallie's.
maybe
I'm
we'll
gonna be
get there.
Hallie's like best friends with me. We're gonna talk it up.
She loves, she'll get into some trash. I mean, it's unbelievable. Selling Sunset,
Oh, she's big on the reality show
Secret
trash.
Lives of Mormon Wives,
Megan's big into the
True
ghost
Crime.
ghost hunters and the true crime
Mm. Yeah, Ali
and
loves the true crime.
what is it, the 90-day fiance or whatever or
No, yeah,
whatever.
not haven't gotten into that one, but
That stuff she'll do. She'll do the My 600 Pound Life, which I
have not gotten into that
which
kind of
I told
stuff.
her. I said, stop watching that. That shit is sad.
But
I
she's
don't want
not
to hear
into
about
like The
people's
Bachelor or
medical history.
anything, but
No, I don't. I watched a little
she
bit of that.
loves a true crime.
Who doesn't like a true crime?
I could,
You don't like a true crime?
it's
You
fine.
don't like process?
Well, I like process, but most of those things are just like
Oh,
just poorly made.
you love movies that are based on true stories,
A
though.
well-made one, yeah.
Like you love a
Zodiac.
Zodiac or
Hello.
a, you know, what's another true crime?
Silence of the Lambs, not
Sounds
true
like
crime,
no,
but
but good crime.
crime.
Yeah, you were telling me off mic. You were like Buffalo Bill. That's my guy.
That is my guy. I have a Silence of the Lambs poster right behind me right now, where Buffalo Bill is front and center
You
on
have
the
a
poster.
Buffalo Bill tattoo on your lower back. It's
Yeah.
a little awkward when you go to the swimming pools.
Yep.
Yeah,
People love it though. The kids love it. You know, for kids.
yeah. That's where you really need to put the lotion, the suntan lotion.
Hmm.
You know,
On the skin,
on the
on the
skin.
lower back.
It's
It puts the lotion on the lower back.
we're really just starting off on a great foot.
Yeah.
So you had not seen this film.
No,
This is a very important film.
it's a big movie,
It's a big movie. It really is.
and it's a part of a movement.
It's part of a giant movement at the time. Now, in the
Hmm.
past, you and I we've talked about the films of Spike Lee, and we've talked about
Yes.
on the old show we talked about Boys in the Hood.
Yes.
We reviewed that film
Which
as
came
well.
out a couple years before this one.
Exactly. And that movie, along with Spike's filmography, I feel is a ripple effect of many black auteurs that we see.
I definitely feel
To
like Boys in the
shape.
Hood is more a part of this
Well, I
movement
think
than
that.
Spike.
Well, I think it's all connection
It
because
might
I
be an
think
East Coast West Coast thing.
because Spike in Do the Right Things in '89,
Sure.
and then that film along with Malcolm X early '90s, it's a turning point for a lot of black directors to be able to see and be
It
able
is
to
a
get the
revolution of
conversation.
black storytelling, but it's
Yes,
told in a different way
different
than
way.
this
No, no,
movie
no, for
and
sure.
Boys in
Because
the Hood
yes,
are.
Boys in the Hood and this film are the emergence of the West Coast director, and these are
And gritty,
yes.
intense.
Yes. And very realistic and honest depictions
Mhm.
of black life in Los Angeles at this time when tensions in the city and race relations and in the country are at an all-time high.
Mhm.
Much
Especially in
like,
LA.
especially in LA, but I mean, it's still very universal for many black people in society to today. And Boys of the Hood was a massive hit. This one wasn't far off. And we're here to talk about this one because depending on who you talk to, Jay, some people prefer this film over Boys in the Hood. It is a little bit of a debate as to which one's better, which one's
Yeah,
more
I mean, we can talk
realistic.
about it. I don't think
Well,
it's close,
I
but
don't think it's close either. But I understand that there are, I think, while similarities to the story, there are differences in terms of execution that
mhm.
the Hughes brothers are doing than John Singleton. And I think it's very interesting to talk about those at a separate time. But my friend, we're here to talk about these guys in particular, the Hughes brothers.
Hmm.
So what do you think about them in your research? And then what do you think about this film to start off the series?
Yeah, we'll get to the film. I do want to go over their origin and also
Albert
the
and Allen.
origin of this movie, which is nuts.
It's yeah, it's a little crazy.
So so the Hughes brothers were born in Detroit in 1972. So at this point they're in their 50s. They made this movie when they were incredibly young. It's ridiculous. Um, and Albert is the older twin by 9 minutes. Albert and Allen Hughes. Albert's the older one, and their parents divorced when they were two, and they moved to California. So, and then after that happened, they were sort of kept off the streets to a certain extent by making movies. Their mom bought them a video camera when they were 12, basically to keep them out of trouble, keep them off the streets. And then that turned into their career. They met some rappers. Maybe one of them was named Tupac Shakur. Maybe another one of them was named Tone Loc. I mean, these were big guys, and they started making music videos for them. I mean, they dropped out of high school. Alan had a kid when he was 18, and they both of them dropped out of high school, and then they started making these music videos, and that gave them the cachet to make a movie. This was the era where music videos were totally a gateway to making movies, and I think Boys in the Hood sort of opened movie studios to the idea of the type of movies that the Hughes brothers were interested in making. And in 1992, 1 year after Boys in the Hood came out, New Line Cinema announced this film directed by the Hughes brothers. And Menace to Society was originally supposed to star, or at least include, Tupac and some other rapper named Spice One, who I'm not familiar with, but those were
You don't
supposed to
know
be
about Spice One?
not familiar, gotta
God,
say.
God, and you call yourself a journalist trying
I know. Yeah.
to give enough background to this whole thing. Good Lord, Jay.
Years later, Allen claimed that Eazy-E was originally supposed to play O-Dog, but he was a little controlling on the set. And it was a movie that was filmed actually in Watts. And you know who the security team was for the production?
I
The
want to
Crips.
say I was gonna say probably the Crips.
The Crips were the security team for the production. And uh, very shortly after the film started production, Tupac and Spice One were fired because they were causing trouble. And Tupac, especially, he was supposed to play Sharif, who I imagine if he was playing Sharif, Sharif probably had a bigger role when he was cast. But the guy in the movie who turns Muslim over the course of the film becomes this really stoic character, and then experiences a tragic incident. But he was just like, why does he do this? Why does he do this? I don't get it. I don't get it. And then he was so frustrated by the role that he assaulted Allen Hughes and was found guilty of assault and battery on set. So quite a production, quite a production. And then it ended up turning into, what it is that we see today. And Ryan, was what it is that we see today with this film, Menace to Society, is I think a great film. It has a momentum to it, a velocity that is so palpable. I think in some ways you could put it in that category that you've mentioned recently. You could perhaps say that it is misery porn to a certain extent.
Oh, I didn't put. Well, I didn't say that. Whoa, 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 whoa. I
No,
didn't.
I'm not saying you're saying that, but that's a
No.
term that you've brought up before for other movies.
Oh, okay. No, I don't.
Uh,
I don't think you can
no, I'm not saying
categorize
you would
those.
say that about this movie, but I think it is possible that someone could accuse this movie of being that, but
I
I
think that
don't
that
find it
person
to be that.
would be
I
closed-minded for
find
this
it to be
suggestion.
a very empathetic film, occasionally a very sweet film,
Yeah.
but obviously, ultimately, an incredibly
You know what
tragic.
I would say, Jay? It's kind of an urgent film for the characters.
Oh, I mean, incredibly urgent. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's it's a film that I mean, the opening scene of this movie is just like, you talk about a statement of intent and really a statement of arrival, just being like, oh, we're here and we're showing you things
Well,
in ways that you've never seen before.
well, I mean, that's why, not to cut you off, buddy, but
I'll allow it.
when I was watching it, I was thinking about some of the themes and some of the scenes from Do the Right Thing. And I was thinking about the convenience store owners, and I was thinking about how the actors in that film are mad that these Asian owners
Right.
own this shop in this community.
But what if they got brutally murdered and
And
you
that's
saw all of it?
and that's why I was watching this. I was like, this is taking some of the themes from the Hughes brothers are taking moments that are from Spike's films, from Singleton's films, from other films before, but now they're personalizing it and adding their own distinctive voice and also adding their truth to it, which is like this may be all talk in one side of the street, the other one side of the country, but over here, we're not going to take that. It's
It
shoot
is
first, ask questions later a little bit. You know what I
it
mean?
is
So
kind of inherently a more challenging film than Do the Right Thing in a
it's,
lot of
but I
ways.
do see like some of the
Do the Right Thing
mirroring
is a
because of the,
masterpiece.
yeah, the mirroring is interesting for a conversational piece, I think. But I do think the Hughes brothers are doing their own thing overall with style and
I mean, that first
storytelling
scene is
here.
so hard to watch.
It is. It's because already there, it's like when you walk into a movie like this, you expect, I mean, even like loss of innocence to take a little bit
Yeah,
of
no, we're
time.
in media res.
No, we're
Yeah,
already in the moment where like, guess what? There is no lost innocence. It's You're born with no innocence. There is
we're
this
gonna figure out how that innocence was lost.
yeah,
Is
and
what it
we're
ends up
going
being.
to go back in time and we're gonna take snapshots and we're gonna move through time and we're gonna move through narration. We're gonna do all these things here in the moment as well too. And it what I didn't expect, and I kind of throw it to you back to you, Jay, is I didn't expect the cutting and I didn't expect the sort of almost vignette likeness to the story that the movie has. It doesn't do chapters, but it feels like chapters.
Hmm.
It doesn't do a straight narrative angle to the story, but that it's in there. It's not trying to be a Pulp Fiction esque thing. Even Pulp Fiction comes a couple like the next year, so we're not there yet in terms of that.
Samuel L. has the Jules haircut in this.
He does well. That's a wig, I think that they use for it, but he definitely has
He
the
has the
look.
Jules hair.
He's got the look. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a little sneak peek to what we'll see a couple months later if you were in 1993 to 1994. But I do find that to be very interesting, just the way that they cut this film and they do it in a way that's different than Singleton or Lee or anybody up to this point of really just telling straightforward, narrative black experiences. This movie really tries to invent its be in a new inventive way to tell a type of story like this.
Can I want to get something out of the way towards the beginning of our conversation, which is the comparison to Boys in the Hood,
Yeah.
which is a movie that I think is good. I don't think it is nearly as good as this movie
You think this is better than Boys in the Hood?
by a not a wide margin, but I don't think it. I don't have any internal battle with
I
the idea
think
that this is better than Boys in the Hood.
I think both films are great, but I think this is a more honest depiction of the and less Hollywoodized version
The thing,
of
yeah,
Boys in the
that's
Hood.
exactly right. It's a less Hollywood version.
Like
The
there's
thing that
no
I
like the thing about Boys in the Hood, if I could say this, and maybe
yeah,
you agree with this, is there's no Lawrence Fishburne
Lawrence
character,
Fishburne, exactly.
which is a
Ryan, we're on the
character
same page. It's
which is a
like
great
Mr. Holland's opus.
which is a
It's
great character,
yeah,
but he's literally there giving
to make it
life
palatable.
lessons.
Yeah.
Yes, and giving life lessons to everyone. And it's like, what? And the Hughes brothers are like, what if there are no life lessons?
Yeah. What if
What if you
this
learn
movie
those
was
lessons?
completely unfor yeah.
What if you learn those lessons when you're already bleeding out to death?
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a sadder and more
Oh,
realistic.
certainly sadder and certainly more visceral.
Yeah,
This this is a film, it's unrelenting, really, to a certain extent,
yeah,
be it physical violence or emotional strife. I mean, every scene, even when our main character Kane is bonding with the son of the woman that he has fallen in love with, he puts a gun out on the dresser and then the kid grabs the gun. It's there is not a single scene where something shocking or violent or incredibly impactful occurs. And it is an overwhelming experience to a certain extent from the first scene. But that speaks in many ways to the filmmaking. There are some incredibly impressive tracking shots in this movie. At the barbecue specifically, I remember being a really impactful shot that honestly reminded me of a Robert Altman movie,
yeah.
which is not something I was expecting
No,
in Menace to Society, but I think it is absolutely legitimate.
I thought of
Uh,
the scene with Bill Duke. I was thinking a lot about like Serpico and the way that,
the Bill scene is so stylized too.
yeah. And I thought a little bit
It's
about
like red
cruising
light
and
in the
yeah.
windows. Yeah.
I thought about Deep Cover. If you ever seen that
Deep
film,
cover rocks.
that movie rules.
Yeah.
And so I was just like thinking a lot. You know, I was even thinking, yeah, I was just thinking about those films and the use of color and the way that the camera's moving around and
But
it.
that's not something that happens very often in the film is that level of stylization.
No, I think it's stylized
But that
because
makes it
it's.
more impactful.
I think it's not stylized throughout the rest of the film because it's not in because this is a, for lack of a better phrase, this is not. This is a more cleaner, more institutionalized place. And I think that the places that are more institutionalized is where the more traditional filmmaking is made. And when we're on back in the streets and we're back inside Watts and where these boys grow up, that's where the more experimental filmmaking takes place because they live an unconventional life.
Yeah,
And
but
we're
it
seeing
doesn't
it in
look
a,
as extreme. It's almost
no,
like going to Dracula's castle when he's being interrogated at the police
no.
station.
I mean, how would it feel if you were a young
Yeah.
black man to be
Bill Duke
pulled off?
also unbelievable in that
I mean,
scene.
Bill Duke,
And
one of the,
obviously making him a black detective is a great dash of
well,
challenge.
it's a great dash of challenge, but it also doesn't like do the even again. I do not want this to become a let's bash um let's bash boys in the hood kind of thing. But like,
But
but there are, it's not like screaming this cop is bad, bad cop, this cop, worst cop, how could you do this to your, you know, to your own people? And it's like,
Boys
no,
in the Hood, as revolutionary as it was, and
it
it
does have
probably
that.
had to be that way for that time.
Listen, it's one of the greatest movies. It's one of the great debuts of all time. I'm not gonna undermine
It's a
what
very good
Singleton's
movie,
ever
and
done.
yes, we should stop undermining
Yeah,
Boys in the
don't
Hood.
undermine it, but it doesn't have the
It had
teeth.
to be more palatable,
Yeah, this has the teeth,
just because of when it existed.
but it
And
also
this
doesn't
this
have like
exists in
the,
the shadow of Boys in the Hood, so
yeah.
it could kind of slip some things
But it
through
was a
that
hit.
Boys in the Hood would not have
Yeah,
been able to.
yeah. This was like a
But also,
minor.
it has a different sensibility than Singleton
It
did.
does because like for Bill Duke is a perfect example of a character that in most films, you know, they would have more than just this scene. He's here to do his job. It's not about, you know, we don't see any of his white colleagues. It's none of that. And like, we don't see any of those dynamics. We're not here for that. The relationship that these young men will face is with this cop for these crimes. And that's it. And it's terrifying. It's intimidating. Why wouldn't it be? He's a police officer. There doesn't need to be any more bells and whistles outside of that. And you can just imply that he's in charge of this section because he knows the area, because he's the one that got out. And what did he get out to do? Literally clean up the mess of everything that continues to go on a daily basis. So
And
and it doesn't have to beat you over the head with this is the message. or this is what, shame on this character, or like tropes that we see in films like this, for 20 years that make a character like this feel bad. Like, no, he's just a guy doing
Yeah.
his job. He just so happens to come from this from those sides of the tracks as well.
Hmm.
So he knows how those guys think, you
And we
know?
should mention, last time I'll mention Boys in the Hood.
Okay.
John Singleton made that film at the geriatric age of 23. The Hughes brothers were only 21 when they made this
Oh,
movie. So
yeah.
they couldn't drink when the movie was made.
Oh, I'm sure they were
Legally.
legally. I'm just like, come on, Jay. Like,
There's a lot of 40s in this movie.
there's a lot of 40s. I thought about like when he started just like drinking it in the store as like sort of like, don't drink in the store. And the guy right then I was like, oh boy, this is because he's
I'll tell
gonna
you what
drink in the
he's going
store.
to do.
Yeah, he's gonna drink in the fucking store is what he's
I'm
gonna
not
do.
sure what else is going to happen, but he's going to drink at the store. Malt liquor, not my favorite.
Not something I drink. I'm
No.
actually gotta be honest with you.
Hmm.
I'm a little bit away from the beers.
Okay. Interesting.
I find them listen, time of recording this, I'm about to be with Jay for a couple days.
Yeah.
So just to let you all know out there, if Jay has beer in his house, I will drink it. It's not gonna be like a thing.
Wow.
But also I'm not jonesing for it because I think it gets you really full and it
So
gets me really full.
what are you in there? Are you into cocktails?
I'm a cocktail guy, I think through
Cocktail
and
guy.
through. I like a nice Manhattan, black Manhattan. I like
Okay.
a gin and tonic.
Gin and
You
tonic.
know,
Love a gin and tonic.
love
Love a
a G&T,
margarita.
love a margarita if it's available. More of on the rocks now than I am frozen because
Absolutely.
I'm
Oh,
not a
oh, oh.
what
No.
what
But frozen bad.
frozen bad. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I rather have it on
Yeah.
the rocks than frozen. That's
Salt.
what I'm saying. It depends. I don't always have to have. No, sometimes people put too much salt on there, man.
I gotta have the salt.
You got to have the salt. What the salt to outmatch the sweet
Yeah, to a certain extent. I
to a
mean,
certain extent. Well, just have some chips or something. No, that'll help you.
well, actually, Ryan, fair point.
Yeah, you're gonna have the salsa, right? And it's gonna be spicy, and you got the chips. Then you got the margarita that balances all out. You're gonna be okay. Yeah. Do you
Fair.
like a flavored margarita or just like a classic?
I like a jalapeno margarita is what
Oh,
I
so
like.
you're already getting the spice.
Yeah.
So, oh, look at you. Look at you. All
Love a
right.
jalapeno mark.
Ooh, yeah, caliente indeed, my friend. All
Hmm.
right. Yeah, I can do that. Obviously, Jay and I, we're mojito guys through and through.
Fiend for
We're
them.
fiends for mojitos. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm more interested in cocktails nowadays than I am. And whiskey. I love whiskey. Give me brown liquor and red meat any day of the week.
I just went on a
It's
bachelor
not
party
good for
to
it's not good for your health, but it's an indulgence.
just went on a bachelor party to Lexington, Kentucky.
You want to get
where
into
we
those
went
stories?
on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
I know some
Will
of those, and listeners, let me tell you, they're great stories, but you're never going to hear them.
will say only one guy got arrested. So a huge win for the group.
And it wasn't you.
So it was not me.
That's even a bigger win.
It was an unmarried man, of course, because if it was a married man,
Man, that man be
he would have walked home
he would well also
voluntarily.
if he was a married man, he'd be dead.
That is true.
Yeah. You don't you got single people out there. You got to be able to behave. Like you got to do better.
Man,
'Cause you're making this all
getting
up.
arrested in your 30s is so embarrassing.
That's really embarrassing.
So embarrassing. You can do
When-
that in college once.
I think from the ages of 18 to 29 you can do it.
29. Yeah, I guess that's fair. For
think-
public intox, which is all it was. It wasn't like a DUI or anything.
No.
It was just a
but
public
I
intox.
do think that like 2 is the limit. One in college, one out of college.
Two is a lot.
Two's here's the thing. If you're doing it, I'm not saying you have to do it.
You ever been arrested?
Hell no.
No, I haven't either.
Not gonna try.
I was probably the more likely one to have been arrested.
Have you ever got a ticket
Like a speeding ticket?
or just any kind of ticket?
Yeah, I've gotten 2 speeding tickets, I think.
Wow. How fast were you going?
180.
Oh, what? You're not. No, you're lying.
I drive an F1 car.
Uh,
No, I mean I was
you went a
probably
little
going,
over
15
15 over.
20 over. Yeah.
Man,
I live in
Okay.
Atlanta. That's basically the speed limit.
Yeah, yeah. What, 15 miles an hour? That's how everybody gets around.
Hmm.
Uh, well,
Actually, truly, yes, 15 over the speed limit is
it's great. Yeah,
going with traffic.
yeah. I will tell you this is that I've only got one ticket in my life, and it was when I was in college, and I was driving a friend home, and I stopped at a stop sign, and this guy slowly rolled his car up and then started trying to roll down the window to talk. And I just sped fast because I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. It's like 11:30 at night. And the cop pulled me over and I told him, I'm like, this guy just like rolled his window down. I was getting out of there and he goes, I'm sorry, but you didn't actually stop. You kept
You didn't go to a
going.
full stop. It was a rolling stop.
Yeah, it was a rolling stop. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I was like, what about the guy who like literally just sped past us? And then he's like, are you talking back? And I was like, oh, no, I'm not. So I ended up having to do I didn't pay, I only paid half and I did the course.
And this is why you and I can speak to the experiences of the characters in Menace to Society.
I think we
We
really,
too have experienced injustice at the
yeah,
hands of law enforcement.
don't be a smart ass about this. I don't need the emails being like, what the fuck's wrong with you two? No, that's not the case. No,
That's
don't
what you were
start.
going for.
That's not it at all. I'm just
Ryan,
giving
that's
you
what
a
you were going
story.
for. I could
Don't
feel it.
even. Don't even. Don't start. This is how you put words into my mouth. This is how we get in trouble. It's not the case at all.
They
No,
were
but
21 when the
they were
movie was
21 years old.
released, and they were
What were
20
you
when
doing
it
when you were 21 years old?
going to frat parties and not
Yeah.
making great films.
What was like your favorite movie at 21 years old?
There Will Be Blood for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it still kind of might be.
it's great.
You know what's great about There Will Be Blood? Everything.
Yeah, pretty much everything.
Like I watched it earlier this year, not to get on this
I need to
tangent.
rewatch it.
I watched it 35 millimeter with a live audience.
That's nice.
And I got to tell you, there's nothing better than watching that movie and laughing at the inappropriate parts with a bunch of sickos in the room.
Well, that's the thing where
Because
that's
you
where you
all
and I
get it. We
differ.
all get it.
You
We all
think it's the funniest
understand.
movie ever made, and I'm like, the humor is not what gets me about that movie. I think it's so intense.
I think it's intense and I think it's also fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I think that there
it's a great
is
movie.
a hilarity inside of every PTA movie.
It has now turned into my third or fourth favorite PTA, which is shocking.
It's my number two. At the time of this, we still haven't seen one battle, so
Your
we
P
don't.
thread,
I don't know. I go back and forth. It's like, ask me tomorrow.
but the top two are P thread or There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. And then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
three is like either the Master or Boogie Nights. Those are the four for me.
God, just rewatched Boogie Nights.
God, so good.
What a movie!
You know, it's a great movie, and I'm glad people are reevaluating and getting on
Pretty
our.
much every Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
I was going to say that, but like, really, the movie that has like grown for me over the years is Inherent Vice. Like, that is a
Well,
great
yeah,
movie.
it's very topical because obviously he's doing another Pynchon, not
Not all the
necessarily
way.
adaptation,
No, yes,
but
but loosely
a
based.
huge influence
Yep, yep,
on
yep, yep,
one
yep.
battle after another.
Yep, exactly. So, but yeah,
And he's really pulling a Pynchon by basically doing no press for the movie.
he's done some press. He's done big press. Like he's done press conferences, but he's
He
not going to
did
do.
a Q&A with Spielberg, right?
Hmm. And he's
Spielberg is such an advocate for film. Spielberg rocks.
isn't it funny though that like Spielberg said, "Hey, I'll go do a big old FYC night for with PTA, but I produced a movie this year that literally is up against it in the Best Picture race,
What did he produce?
Hamnet."
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And did he go to Telluride to help introduce it? No.
Nah, he was
Did
in
it, did he go to Toronto?
forever with PTA.
No. He was like, I'm seeing one battle after another. He's seen it 3 times. God damn, Spielberg, I want to watch that movie 3 times.
I'm going to see it 3 times.
I'm going to see it
I'm
more.
going to see it at least twice. I'm seeing it, I think, 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
You know, it's going to be really funny for
But you're
the
going to be
list.
in New York. You're going to get to see it in the ideal
Yeah. I'm going to see it in every format possible.
presentation.
You know
Yeah.
that little chart that they sent out about all the different formats to see that movie?
Hmm.
That's going to be me watching all the
I'm going to
formats.
watch it when they send out the FYC screener on my phone.
I was going to say iPod Nano.
Remember the Nano?
Remember the Nano? Did you have a Nano?
No, I did not.
Did you have the brick?
I never had an iPod. My parents were stingy. I
What
had
kind of
an alternative.
Jake? I gotta talk to you about this real quick, and I think this
Okay.
will tie us back into the movie. What kind of fucking house did you live in? Because it sounds like for you, who's very cultured
Hmm.
and loves movies like this,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and is really just widened his palate as you've gotten older. It sounded
Hmm.
like you were in like literally a bear cage your entire life
Yeah, it
until
was
you
sort
went.
of a menace to society.
Because you're like, oh, I didn't watch PG-13
No,
movies and I didn't have this. And
they didn't care
did you have a
about
game
that
console?
stuff. I had a yeah, I had a PS2 and then an Xbox 360.
Okay.
Although that took some convincing
Yeah, was
to
that
get
like a
them to do that.
PowerPoint presentation for little Ledbetter out there?
Well, it was really, I was so enthusiastic about getting a PS2. I was like, this is what if you don't get this for me, I will turn to a life of crime.
I mean, that's fair.
And then they got it for me for Christmas. They gave me like a scavenger hunt to go find the PS2, and they probably regret that decision immensely. But it
Hey,
it was movies were never really it was big. Indiana Jones was a huge movie growing up. You know,
yeah. But
there
anyway,
were some huge ones, but I wasn't allowed to see PG-13 movies
when did
until I
it turn
was
the corner?
basically 13. Junior year of high school.
Okay. What did you watch?
Anything I wanted
Okay.
illegally.
What was oh, because you started downloading shit.
Hmm.
So did you just like, what was like the one that opened the gates though?
There will be blood.
Okay. And then after that, you were off to the races.
Yeah.
And you're just watching anything you fucking wanted.
I watched There Will Be Blood on my laptop and I was like, this is
The
what I
great.
want to focus on for the rest of my life.
And your parents couldn't stop you.
And then film criticism died and
Then you brought it
I
back.
entered corporate America. But I have a podcast.
Yeah. And you get to talk about this stuff every week
Yeah.
with me, your best
Hmm.
friend.
Yeah.
Pretty much your best friend.
My best buddy. We talk all the time,
We
man.
talk all the time.
I talk to you more
Can I
than
can I be
every
vulnerable?
person except my wife.
Can I be vulnerable
That is
with you?
actually true.
I'm gonna call you out a little bit.
Maybe my brother.
Yeah, well, probably your brother,
Probably.
probably your family, and then me.
Honestly, probably you, though. I don't
Wow.
see my
Okay.
brother every week.
Can I be vulnerable with you?
I'll allow it.
Okay. So for listeners out there, everybody knows I go to the film festivals,
Hmm.
and I got this call right when I got off the plane from Telluride,
Hmm.
and I had like literally like 8 hours before I was flying to Toronto.
Hmm.
I get this text. It's from this guy,
Yeah.
and this guy texted me because I hadn't like texted him in like a week or so because we hadn't done a show,
It was weird.
and he felt out of sorts.
A little bit.
So he needed to hear my voice.
I just wanted to talk to Ryan, check in
He
on
just
him.
wanted to talk to me. And I
Yeah.
got to, can I tell you this, buddy?
Hmm.
I haven't told you this since that night. That was the sweetest thing anybody's ever done.
Wow.
I really, and honestly, I needed to hear your voice.
It was a great short conversation. You were with your wife, so
I
I
was with,
said,
yeah, I was at
"Okay,
dinner and
okay, bye."
but I also just, I love continuing the bit even long after it's gone, as
Because
you
we don't
clearly know.
really we text a lot. We
We
don't
text all the time.
talk that much on the phone. I don't talk
I
that much on the
would,
phone in general.
I
Yeah.
know. Well, I would call you on the
You're a
phone.
phone guy.
I love a phone call
Yeah.
because I think it's more personal than a text.
Oh, definitely.
I think it's more personal. Well, I'll tell you this. I love a Zoom call. I love being able to see you.
Mm.
So I love doing this. I like how we're opening up.
Oh,
We really
yeah,
should
yeah,
get
yeah,
back to the
yeah.
movie, but
Mhm.
like I had to tell you, this guy, truly one of the best people I know in my life.
Hey,
And and for him
Ryan's
to
my
even
guy. We're
for
about
him
to
to
meet for the first time in person
I know, it's so great.
tomorrow as we are recording this.
I know
I
it's so
can't
great.
believe it.
So great. It's gonna be awesome. Of
You are the
course,
cane to my O dog.
really? I I'm O Dog? Or I'm Kane.
No, you're the cane to my O dog. I'm the
Yeah.
reckless wild card.
Well, that is true.
Also, I need to take this movie more seriously. It's a very
We've been on a little bit too
yeah,
much of a tangent. And
very
also we're like
extreme
it seems
film.
like we're trying to skirt away from what is an exceptional film. And a movie that if I could just say a couple things here real quick, Jay,
Absolutely.
is one that caught me off guard. I put this this was a first time watch, and I put the 4K
Same.
on, and
4K looks incredible.
this is a really well. When do Criterion 4Ks ever look bad?
Um,
Do they? Is there one that looks bad? I'm you
well,
mull it up.
they had to
Yeah, it was the first
replace the
one, and they
discs for Citizen Kane,
yeah, but ever since out of the
obviously.
box, never had to do that ever since, right? Because that was the first one.
I don't think so.
They ripped off the band-aid. It was a little bumpy right at first, but then they figured it out. Um, and so think about that while I'm saying this stuff. Is that
Hmm.
I think you're absolutely right. Everything that you said about Boys in the Hood and its comparisons, because it's kind of hard not to at first, because it kind of open. You know, it's about two. It's about a group of friends, mostly focused on these two. But it's different. There's the parental figures are gone. It's really it's almost as if like this is like weirdly like a Lord of the Flies sort of situation where these kids they don't have really anybody except themselves.
They're sort of on an island,
They're sort of on an island in the middle of and
but almost voluntarily to a certain extent. It's not voluntary though.
it's not voluntary.
His grandparents are some of the most interesting characters in the
They
movie.
really are, but they're also completely in the backdrop. Like they're the most life lessony thing you get in this movie. And then for the most of the time you're spent with Kane, with Odog, with Ronnie played by Jada Pinkett. And you're spending time in this environment and the Hughes brothers understand that in order to where like they start off with some archival footage after the opening scene to drop you into this place in the world and how it's been and how it has continued to be and how it has how this violence and this unpredictability of an environment can lead an
It's
individual.
unpredictable moment to moment, but generation to generation, it is predictable. It's
It is,
about a
yes,
cycle where anything can happen.
it's to me the scene of the film is when they go they go and they shoot those guys at like the burger stand, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
It's crazy,
So visceral,
very visceral.
especially because they use a shotgun.
Yeah, but you know what's not crazy is that happens at any random burger stand any night. It's a real this environment is a real flip of a coin, and
Yeah, that's the
it's
thing is this is look, I have not lived this experience, but it does feel very true to life.
no,
And
because it feels more authentic than a Hollywoodized version of this. This is a this you know they came together and the great thing about this
it's
is
brutal.
it's brutal and it's also they are 21 years old. So they don't have really any other perspective other than what they have faced and what they have seen. And they're just showing that in this film. And it's heartbreaking because at any moment, at any time, one of these characters are gone, someone makes a mistake, and the life and there's not some big giant thing. I think even the narration at the end of the film is like, yeah, I wish I wasn't afraid about dying until I died. I don't think about that death because if you think about it, then you're gonna be next. So you have to keep moving, and that's the whole thing about the movie is that from story to story, from the past to the present, to the people that are in your life briefly, Jay, to the moments that are people that have been there from the beginning, or the people that are closest to you, or that your friends, or were at this party, or whatnot. The Hughes brothers understand that like maybe the only constant are going to be like this really close knit people for you, but everybody in the background is going to interchange because of the violence, because of the unpredictability, because of just the
Hmm.
nature of the place that they live, and the nature of this world, and they understand that better than anybody. And then there's also the scene at the prison, which is it's either you're out on the streets and you're fighting for your life every day, or you're incarcerated and you're living out your life weirdly in peace from that out there, but you're in jail. And it's this brutal conversation that takes place.
But also, going to jail kind of feels like a rite of passage in this
Yeah.
movie.
It's like
Obviously, you
everybody's
don't want
done
to
it.
be there for life without parole.
No, but you want, but it's honestly like a place of escape, but it's also a place to build up credibility.
It's like getting your member's card.
Yeah. It's like the scene in Goodfellas when he gets pinched for the first time and De Niro puts the wad of cash in his jacket pocket, his shirt pocket, and he goes like, and he's like, this is your first, like, and they're all congratulating him because
Hmm.
it gives him a level of credibility. Anybody that's come out of the joint or have dealt with cops or got away with shooting someone or whatever, or just survived to the next scene has credibility.
Right.
And that's an insane thing to do at 21 years old and show that on the screen.
And this is like that, except there is no romanticizing this
No. And
experience.
I think like the scenes between
Goodfellas
Kane.
is a fun movie.
No,
This movie is
this is not a fun
not
movie.
fun.
No, because I think of the scenes with Kane and Ronnie, right?
Hmm.
And she clearly wants out of all of this, right?
Right.
And
She's
they
trying to move to my land.
and she's got their son, Anthony,
Hmm.
right?
Who's just he's riding around on his big wheel.
He's
There is
riding
a
around
level
his
of innocence to him that is lost very quickly,
yeah, because his dad's giving him a gun
which is
in
very
their
much
bed.
like Kane's early experience
Yeah, because he's
with
like
his father Samuel L. Jackson
yeah, and he's like his dad literally shoots a guy and he's watching it
while he's yeah
while he's like
next
what
door.
you
He
know, he's
sees the
like
body on the
I know
ground.
oh I wanted a glass of water. Oh shit, what did I walk into? What's so crazy about that scene is Sam Jackson's shooting this guy over some money and then they just continue to play. Like it's no big deal. Like that body sitting there with 8 bullet holes in it doesn't mean anything now anymore. It's just out with the trash. It's so like when you just watch it in person for the first time, you're just sitting there going like, how this is the dead body is part of the furniture.
But
It's
what plays
crazy.
right before that?
Uh,
Archive footage of the Watts riots,
yeah. So
which is
it's just
sort of
an
like it's almost like the dawn of man sequence in 2001,
2001.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
that
it's
this
also
is the
shown with
environment.
this
Yeah.
real digital pixelation, which I think was a really interesting choice. It is sort of fuzzy, but in a pixelated way. It has pixelation to it. It's not fuzzy, grainy film. It truly has this new modern aesthetic to it, which I think is indicative of the way that it has impacted not just people in the 1970s, but continues to impact the world in the early 90s and into today to a certain extent. It really does feel a little bit like an origin story, if not an origin story, then at least an echo from the past.
It does. Because then what happens in those riots, there's ripples that happen from generation to generation in this. And young Kane is literally seeing the ripples of that violence on a totalistic measure, then be shrunk down to just what his father's done to this guy at a poker table.
More or less.
And that's how then he sees that this is okay. Cause he see like that's literally what it's saying. It's like this is normal. And it's not romanticizing it. It's just being like, it's a fact. This is
No,
normal.
no,
This
it's
is
it's
normal.
it's brutal.
It's
There's
brutal.
nothing about this film that says,
There's
"Isn't
no
this cool?"
there's an
That doesn't
inevitability
happen once.
about the violence in
Yes,
this.
exactly.
That this violence is inevitable. It's gonna happen. You can't run from it. You can't. You just gotta have to accept it.
From
And
that first scene, it is like, oh, this isn't going to end well for anybody.
no, and he accepts it. But what's
Mhm.
very funny is like you're watching O-Dog be like very flippant with killing these two people in the
He's
beginning.
unhinged.
He is, yes, he is, but he's not the one that we focus on nearly as much in this film as we focus on Kane. And
Oh yeah.
there is a sensitivity to him. He is not as
His
monst
narration is very gentle.
is not as monstrous as his friends around him,
No,
but he has to do what he
but
has
you
to do
see
to
him get
survive.
infected.
Yes, it's again inevitable. You know,
It's
it's going
proto
to
The Wire is really what it is.
well, I mean, it really is a little bit to that certain extent, but The Wire has other things in it
Yeah.
other than its inevitability, and also
They don't have season 2 in this.
no, they don't have the docs,
No.
but they don't have the journalism angle to it.
This is a short movie.
No, but that was the other thing. We have been watching for 2 months
Ozu.
this
Yeah.
patient master give us these 2.5 hour movies where he slowly builds you into, you know, and lulls you into a vulnerable state and hits you over the mouth with these emotions. And the Hughes brothers, within the first 5 minutes of this movie, go like, "Yeah, you're at a different speed, Jay and Ryan," and just like fucking obliterate you.
Yeah, this feels like being at an EDM concert compared to Ozu.
But
Love
it's a
Ozu, to
quick
be clear.
hour 30, hour 37,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
believe that is correct.
and you're just like moving at a pretty deliberate, and again, the word inevitable is very much at the forefront here
It's a breakneck pace, I would
because
say.
you know where this movie's going to end. By the time it starts, you know where it's going to
You're
end,
not
Jay.
exactly where it's going to end, but
You know how
you're
it's going to
sure
end.
that it's not going to be a happy ending.
You I clocked it probably even before I put it in the Blu-ray, you know, or the 4K. I was like, I know how this is probably going to end, but it's not about the final destination, it's the journey,
Well, the
you
question
know?
is at the end, are they going to kill the kid or not?
Like the little kid?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I thought they were going to.
I think that's that probably would have been too saccharine even for the Hughes brothers to do.
Not
It's the one
saccharine,
or not. I mean,
too
like
brutal.
that was too brutal. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
like that's probably one bridge too far.
What are movies where kids are murdered? Taking of Pelham 123,
Uh,
famously. No, I
yeah.
mean the original one,
No,
Carpenter. Or
yeah. I mean, my eye sockets were
no,
lost.
not Carpenter. I'm not taking of Pelham 123. I'm
Which
thinking of
one? Which one?
uh no, the Assault on Precinct 13. That's the
Assault
one
on
I'm thinking
Precinct
of. Yeah,
13.
Assault on Precinct 13. Not taking Pelham 123.
Say it one more time.
Assault on Precinct 13.
No, the other one.
Taking of Pelham 123.
Yes, I just love hearing you say numbers in the title of things.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. I mean, there's probably a lot of
All right, I'm Googling movies where
kids die.
kids
Like
are
you see,
murdered.
or
Not
you.
where they die, where they are murdered. Child films where kids die.
I don't think you want that in your Google search, but okay.
No, I'm on a list now for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, some of these,
I mean, like just like Holocaust
sure.
movies
I mean,
count.
Train Spotting, of course, that's one.
Just
That
like
one's tough.
just like
We need to talk about Kevin, of course.
yeah. There's that. I mean,
Elephant, American History X,
does
The
what is it?
Hunger Games. Hello.
Manchester by the Sea? Well, they're just
I
killed. I
mean,
guess they're not murdered,
they're not murdered.
but they die, and you're like, holy shit.
This is films where kids die. Yeah, all of the not all of those were murder. They have
I just think
Arrival on here as well, obviously.
yeah, that well, she's not
Three
murdered.
Colors Blue, covered on this podcast.
Correct. Correct. Well, Arrival covered on this podcast.
True.
Yes.
Great film.
I think yes, both of them were great films. This is a great film. I think that if they would have done that, I think that that would have just been a bridge too far. And I think also there's a little bit of a point as to why they didn't. in that
Also, it's
he,
possible that New Line was like,
if you kill the
no,
kid, this movie's never seeing the light of day.
no,
This is already
we have
rough
one
enough.
stipulation.
Yeah.
No.
Uh, no kids. No, I think, but to this point, is that your mind goes to, is the kid going to die? He sacrifices himself to make sure that there's a
He
chance
is a
for his son.
hero at the end. Yeah.
He is. His memory, his son's, I mean, essentially what we see in this film is the most lasting memory that he has of his father is killing a man. Like that's the lasting thing that he will go back to in his life, right? At the beginning
Right.
of the film.
Right. Right.
The last thing that his son is going to witness is him saving his life from
Well,
the
his
violent nature.
pseudo, I mean, it's
Yeah.
his sort of adopted almost son.
Son.
Obviously not
Yeah.
his son, but
Yeah. But like essentially, like that child is a part of his life. He's taken on more of the parental
mhm.
responsibilities than the original father ever did. And he, in a way, that role model, that parental figure, that man, right, that he's supposed to be, much
He was
like
trying to be the father that he never had, basically.
just like the father figure that he has this conversation with in the prison. And he's like, I thought of you
Right.
like,
Yeah. He basically says you were a father to me.
you're a father in me. And those are
And
lasting
now I am
memories.
going to go away with your girlfriend.
But he then is sacrificing himself to save this kid. And you hope
Yes.
then that memory would be enough as this kid is making his way out with his mom. You would hope that would be enough for him to escape the cycle of violence that is
Hmm.
in around the next generation that is coming up. It's a bit of a more it's a sad ending. It's a hard one to end on, but it does, at least for me, Jay, I don't know if it speaks to you. It does speak to like he made a conscious choice to instead of allowing this kid to be sacrificed to the lands by this drive-by, he realizes that the right thing is to sacrifice himself and to try to end this, even though it's not, they're not going to kill him. He didn't do anything wrong. He makes the right choice and it costs him. And then he realizes the value
Well,
of what his life
they
is.
are going to kill him.
Was it going to go? Oh, no, I thought they were. Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
he beat him at his grandparents' house when he was confronted by the pregnant.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, mixed
So
that up.
they were there to kill him, but they
Yeah,
just happened to kill other people too.
yeah, and
So,
it's
and then I mean I think maybe the most impactful part of the film is at the end of the movie when we kind of discover that the narration has been from the from beyond the grave the entire time. Earlier in the film, his grandfather asked him, do you care about being alive? And he says, I don't know. At
yeah,
the end of the film, he reveals, I do care about being alive. I had
yeah,
stuff to live for, and I didn't get to see it through.
yeah.
And it sucks. He had so much good in him.
He did, but he also is a victim of his own downfall a little bit too. With like, I mean,
Yes, he's a
a
victim of
girl.
circumstance and also a person who embraced the environment around him.
I mean, he literally is like he's embraced it. There's his downfall.
But
These
the
guys going to
probability
shoot
of
him
that
is
happening was high.
it was high, and I mean, also he kept. I mean, they're beating these guys up. One of he tells this girl who he knocks up.
I don't have time for this.
Yeah, and he just like hangs up the phone on her, and she has family that will take care of this because he doesn't want more than what's already on his plate. Like Ronnie's enough, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And but he not just continuing the legacy of all the bad decisions that have come before him
Hmm.
in those moments. And so it there is it's such an interesting character because it's at one point Kane's a very innocent character, but then bound this road through the violence that we see throughout it and being more and more ingratiated with his friends and the difficult situations that they put themselves in, he becomes less innocent and more a product of the system. And then therefore when he makes these
Oh, for sure.
rather flippant decisions by the end that are uncharacteristic for him, those are the ones, those tiny little things like one phone call, one upset fight that
Or
lead.
they find his fingerprints on
Yeah.
the beer bottle
Or they
in
find it
the
on the beer bottle or
liquor store.
whatever. It's one little thing, but they start, those little things in life start adding up into then
The
the,
cops have power over him, so they can just beat him up in the police car.
but it's again, Jay, the little things that then add up then
Hmm.
to the final big thing that costs them.
But it is like, where does he have any leverage in life?
He
He
doesn't.
doesn't really.
The
Yeah.
only thing that he feels safe in is the idea that like Ronnie will always be there for him.
Or the place where some of these folks, where O-Dog has leverage, is where he can
Exactly.
shoot a
So he has to
crackhead in the
lean back.
street.
Yeah. So he has to lean into more violence in order to find a place of comfort and solace. And it's tragic because it's
It's
like,
tragic. It's brutal.
it's
It's
brutal
a
because it's
vicious,
like,
vicious cycle.
because it's like, how do I get out of this? You can't. And it goes back to it's inevitable, man. You made one choice after another. The road that there's
But
only
even
one
even
path that
even
leads to it once you
O-Dog,
make
who
those.
is an unhinged individual, you are like,
He's gonna be all right.
man, you were set up for this. You didn't have to be
It's in the
necessarily
bones.
as extreme
No,
as
but
you
it's in his
were, but
bones. It's in like it's a little bit of
it's in
like
his community. It's
it's
baked into that experience, and
it's
we
big.
do not have a support system in this country to
No,
break that cycle.
no, because that cycle was built by institutions that want to see this happen
We're not nearly
and don't
as
give
far
them give
beyond the
to.
Watts riots as
No, we're not.
we wish or as we pretend to be.
No, because we don't. We
Certainly
still
not in 1993, and even
no.
now,
We're
where
not to those. I don't think we're as far into those extremes, but there's definitely still systems of oppression on Black communities, Latino communities, just any minorities, really, in any places. Mostly here in San Antonio, where I live, it's Hispanic locations where funding is not put into programs to fix or resolve crime and to make opportunities for people to move out of their station, to move out of the situations that they're in. Society does not afford everybody the same. At times, we don't all get the same
opportunity,
opportunities. We
it's
don't get the same. We don't get the same path.
the equity
And
is not there. Yeah,
no, it's
equity of
not.
opportunity. Yeah,
And it's tragic. And I think we are trying. I mean, it's hard to say, oh, we're going to look at this more when we've got the fucking country we have right
I mean,
now and who's leading it.
what is the greatest indicator of success? It's your parents.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That is, I think statistically, that is like your setup as a child.
yes, but also
The wealth of your parents is the number one indicator of how wealthy you will be as an adult.
not for everybody, but sure.
I'm
I mean,
saying
like,
statistically. I'm not saying it is
yeah,
I'm not like impossible to overcome that, but I'm saying
yeah,
statistically that is the number one leading correlation
yeah.
to wealth as an adult.
No, I mean that is true.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's
No,
bad.
no, because I mean, if you're watching this film, it's like most of the parental figures are gone in prison. It's really the generation before them are the ones that are the parental figures because of the violence that's around them, and it takes generations. It takes this generation that we see in the film ultimately to hopefully then have a generation for the future to be able to fix these issues. That's why what he does at the end is Kane sacrifices himself for the hope that his adopted son, this kid that's not even his, has a chance to break through with his mom out of the life that he's lived, out of the choices that he's made. And that's a whole generation of people. And I do think we're getting better, but we can always, but there's always going to be some of this just because of the systems that our society and our country and our government, continue to fund or not to fund programs that we cut, areas of cities that we ignore, opportunities that aren't given to some parts of places that, I mean, Jay, you live in Atlanta. There are parts of Atlanta that are much more vibrant and flourishing than other parts. This happens
Oh,
in
I mean,
big
it
cities,
is it is Atlanta is, I think, a famous black city to a certain
Yeah.
extent, but it is still a segregated city in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
There
It's
is there
there's
is
there's a
there
lot of
is
work
north
still to
there
be
is north
done.
and south. There is
Yeah.
College Park and there is, Alpharetta, Brookhaven, for I'm saying things that nobody listening to the podcast has any
No.
idea about, but it's a city still divided racially to a pretty intense extent,
Yeah.
actually.
That's why
And that's
yeah.
just it's a product of history that has
Yeah.
to be overcome, and overcoming that obstacle, which is honestly that what I was talking about earlier, overcoming your circumstances is basically as hard as it's ever been.
No, I mean we talked about this, I think, what was it, last week or the week before? When we were talking about Ozu. We were like, and maybe we were talking about this offline. But the fact that we live that our generation most of the people that you and I know, they don't own
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
houses. They
No,
don't.
we did talk about this.
Yeah, we did talk about this. We are very rare to have houses. Not that like you want to brag about having a mortgage, but like most people won't ever be able to own the property that they ever live in.
And it's
And that's,
because, yeah, the property is prohibitively expensive and wages have been far, far, far outpaced by cost of
but
living.
that's not these individuals' problems. That's not like they didn't cause that. We didn't cause that. Society has caused that. And through neglect and through history, like you're saying, Jay, and just time and it repeating itself because we're human and we can't help ourselves to repeat the same bad history and bad actions over and over again.
Yeah, but
We're left with places like this in the world.
forget about owning a house. The people in this film are seeing murder twice a
Yeah.
week.
If then that's a slow week, it feels
Yeah.
like. And so therefore it leads, if you're seeing, you
They're
know,
seeing their parents
they're
murder
being
people.
seeing their parents murder people, they're seeing their parents murdered, they're seeing their friends killed, they're
They're seeing
seeing
everybody do drugs.
everybody's doing drugs, everything. This is the environment. How do you get out of that? You can't. So maybe, so then therefore you accept it. And that path is even more dangerous. But then if you can find a path, it's weirdly, it's kind of like the ending is inevitable, but then selfless. Because what he does is he protects this kid and that he doesn't, I mean, he has a minor relationship because of his mother.
But man, what do we think is going to happen to that kid?
God, you hope, I mean, the only thing is hope because they're moving out of this place and you hope that it's better. But then does it take his generation or the next generation when he
Do they
has
still
kids?
end up moving out of that place?
Do they still move after
Now
what
they're going to
happened?
be questioned by the police. They're going to have to stay
Who
there for a
knows?
while.
I mean, the cynic, and I love you. The cynic in you
It's a very
probably,
cynical movie.
it's yeah. The cynic says no. He'll see the violence and he'll be rageful because he lost a figure, and then it'll be gone. Or the optimist says that he realizes that this man saved his life so that he could live a life that's better than the one that he had. They move out of there, and he rises above all of this, and it takes one by one by one by one by individual in order to break the walls down. Like there is no sweeping bill that's ever going to be done out there. There is no sweeping, thing that's going to that a government can do because they won't do it. It takes individual actions in order to be able to solve generational problems, I feel. And
Hmm.
and it takes time. Like the things of our generation that we think as norms now, it took time to get to where we're at. That's why it's so infuriating to watch things be dismantled and by people that are older than us in government because of the fact that we see what they're doing, and it's like, no, we're trying to get beyond this to make a life better for what, Jay? Make a life better for your kid. Make a life better for the future generations
Hmm.
to come. We can't do that because our generation hasn't even had an overwhelming amount of chance to be able to succeed on their own terms. So imagine if our generation hasn't been able to succeed, there's a large section of generations before us that never even had an opportunity, didn't even have an inkling of a chance to be able to get to the table. And that is what this movie is really showing. And it's so heartbreaking and it's so real. Because here are these 21-year-old guys that
Hmm.
did break through and they get $3.5 million to make a movie. And what do? They make it about the place that they escaped. You know what I mean? They're making it about the West Coast version of that because they're from Detroit. You know what I mean? And they're you're trying to tell and show the world that, like, hey, like, there's a section of this world that's never going to break out of this if we don't look at it, if we don't acknowledge that we allowed this to happen. There's movies like that like you see a movie like you watch. I mean, it's your favorite film of 2 years ago, Jay. You watch Killers of the Flower Moon. We allowed that to happen. We
Hmm.
allowed the eradication of those people. We allowed these white men to go in there
But
and take that wealth.
that was even more direct. This is
This is,
just,
yeah,
hey, we set you up.
yeah.
We don't even have to actively
We don't have to do it. We just put you.
participate
No, we
in
just
this
watch you
anymore.
do it to yourself, which is honestly even more sinister. It's just as it's just as nasty. You know what I mean? Because it's almost
Yeah.
like we figured it out. We don't even have to worry about it. They'll kill themselves. Yeah, it's terrible.
It's
It's a
hard. It is
it's a
a
real slap
movie
in the
that
mouth kind of
it's
movie,
yeah,
and it's
it
great.
really makes you kind of reflect on some
It's a
stuff.
great movie.
Just because of how visceral and scary and it's a hard watch very often from scene one, but it gains a momentum from having that be the first scene of the film where you are on edge for the whole runtime
Yeah,
in a thrilling way, but in a way that, it thrills and chills.
yeah,
It's it really makes you feel bad in the ways that it should, while also keeping you completely engaged the entire time.
yeah. No, for sure. So, anything else, Jay, you want to mention about?
Yeah, I do want to mention so when I watch films with my wife, she is put off very regularly by films that look dated to any degree whatsoever. And I think it is a credit to both the 4K restoration of this film as well as the cinematography, where I told her, "Oh yeah, this movie's from 1993," and she was like, "I thought this looks like it came out like 5 years ago." Which maybe you say is a bad thing because movies look worse now than they used to most of the time.
I
But
think that speaks to the restoration that's done by
yes,
Criterion. He wrote that.
she was just referring to how crisp and clean and how modern the film looks, and I think that's a credit to the cinematographer Lisa Rinsler,
Yeah,
who has worked with a lot of very, very famous people, Wim Wenders, Martin Scorsese, obviously the Hughes brothers. And we're talking about black filmmakers, which is unfortunately, uh, it's rare that we see black filmmakers get the kind of opportunities that the Hughes brothers were able to find, at least for a fairly short period of time. It's probably even more rare to see a female cinematographer get the opportunity that Lisa Rinsler did with this film. And this movie looks magnificent. I wish she had kind of gotten more shots at really big Hollywood films. Most of the stuff she's done is stuff that you wouldn't even recognize, and I don't recognize. It's a lot of documentary work and some kind of random narrative films here and there, but I think this movie really does look incredible. We haven't mentioned any of the performances at all. We're not really talking about performers who ended up being movie stars by any extent. The lead, who plays Kane,
Tyron
is,
Turner
yep, Tyrone
is in,
Turner, I think, is phenomenal in
I
this
think
movie.
he's incredible in this movie. I think Lorenz Tate as O-Dog, I think he's incredible. I mean, obviously, I think the biggest star that comes out of this ensemble, well, you really can't mention her name too much, Jay, for fear that you might get slapped in the mouth.
That's true. Keep her
So,
name out of your mouth.
yeah,
But
but Jada
God,
Pinkett
I didn't realize
is
this was
really
her
good.
first movie.
Yeah, she's actually really great, and she has this great presence. I think of the moment when Kane is in this child's bedroom and he's showing them the gun and he doesn't have the bullets, but he's like telling them, yeah, learn how to pull the trigger and everything like that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Which, like, okay, in or like in cinema history, a father figure showing a kid, like in the old westerns, right? Showing a kid how to shoot on the range and all that stuff. It's romanticized. And Ronnie, in this case, sees this happening and goes, "Not at my fucking house. Like, not like this is not happening. We are not." She's trying to preserve that innocence,
Hmm.
preserve that hope that I think is still kind of there by the end of the film, a little bit by the end of the film, by what Kane does. But she's trying to preserve that as long as possible. It is like I'm trying to keep this kid thinking about Santa Claus and school. I am not trying to him think about you on the streets, how to pull a gun, the fascination with that. No, you are not going to come in here and romanticize what you're doing out there.
Hmm.
And this happens multiple times in the film where she is looking at him just plain in the face, being like, no. She likes him, she sticks around with him and everything, but that stuff is off limits. And I think Jada Pinkett at this time, is really good at sort of laying down and kind of being in between this mom who wants to protect, but also has, loves this guy and is really the only saving grace he has left outside of those grandparents, which I think they're really good in the film too. But this is like he's like she's kind of telling him at a certain point by the end of this film, she's like, the only way to get out of that is to just throw it all away, get out of here, and come with
And,
me, and
and
let's just do it. And she's his escape, and she's really good in the film, even though he doesn't get a chance to obviously meet them by the end.
and one of the big credits I'll give to the movie and the cast is just that most of the actors, although this is not the case, they feel like they just got him off the street.
Yeah,
They don't feel like actors. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with the fact that very few of them ended up having sustaining big careers in big movies. But even just the performances feel so grounded and true to life, and only occasionally have that stylization that I was talking about in the interrogation scene. I think even Samuel L. Jackson, you one of the few movies where, I mean, I definitely recognized him as soon as he showed up. I was like, oh, he looks like Jules. But
yeah.
it is a performance that does feel outside of his movie star persona. He's very off-putting. He's he's tough. He's a very unlikable character. And I think he plays it incredibly well. Small role. The moment a lot later in the movie, after you see the flashback, where it is revealed through narration that he has died, and his mother has also died. Because the whole time I was like, "Is his dad in jail? Is his dad dead?" And then it is revealed that he died, and even his grandparents in the film, who end up being his caretakers, their dynamic is very interesting, where they're trying to instill an intense sense of religion and spirituality in Kane, but he rejects it fully because he views the environment that he is in as some sort of rejection of fairness. And whereas his grandparents are trying to rationalize their existence by some sort of greater good that exists beyond the hard life that they're experiencing, Kane thinks of it as he rejects the idea that any spiritual entity would burden the people in his community with the existence that they have. It's a great dichotomy, very smart way to think about religion. And that's not something that you necessarily think about when you think about a movie like Menace to Society. But the Hughes brothers and um, writer Tiger Williams do a pretty incredible job of thinking about things above and beyond the traditional narrative that you would think of when you think about a movie like this.
Nobody, I agree with everything you said. I think it is an extremely important debut feature that honestly is you watch it. I know this is gonna, I mean, this is spoilers for it, but you go, this movie was like a little bit of a hit, made on a three and a half, made 30 million. It's a lot to take
That's a
in.
big hit.
It's a big hit. That's a 10-time multiplier, pretty much.
Tiger Williams wrote basically nothing ever again.
No, he didn't,
It's insane.
which is insane. But, the Hughes brothers worked alongside him and to craft this. I will say this about Lisa Rensler real quick, Jay,
Hmm.
is that the movie looks incredible, and this is the only time I've really actually brought up something like this, but she's a white woman doing cinematography on
Hmm.
black men and women throughout this entire film. That is not an easy thing to do.
No, a criticism very often directed at films starring people of color, for
No,
sure.
very much so. Like I will say this. I don't remember. I know the cinematographer for Coogler's films. Well, not Rachel Morrison, but the lady. I don't know her name, but she did Wakanda Forever. I remember watching that movie because Rachel Morrison did I think she did the cinematography for the first Black Panther, and then this lady took over for Wakanda Forever. Jay, if you could look this up so I can get
I
the
got
the
you.
name.
Autumn Gerald Arcapa.
Thank you. I believe she did Sinners as well, if I'm not mistaken.
She did do Sinners. She did The
Uh,
Last Showgirl
Thank you.
and
Uh,
a few other things.
I think that she did a much better job with Sinners because when I watched Wakanda Forever, you could barely see the people inside that film, and
Well, that's as much a Marvel problem
it's a
as
Marvel problem
anything.
for sure. But like there are also even a little bit of times in Sinners where it's hard to find some people. It's a very dark
Yeah,
movie.
agreed.
It's a very dark
Yeah.
movie.
That's
Just because
that's a
it's set in,
criticism you could throw at so many movies.
but it's
Even Weapons even is kind of like, man, that's very
it's
dark. It's
very
hard to
dark.
really tell what's
Yeah,
going
and
on.
it's mostly because both Sinners and Weapons are set primarily. A lot of their sequences are set at night.
Right.
And this movie does have its fair share of dark rooms and night shots primarily throughout most of it, and you can track every character in this thing. Maybe that's a little bit of also shooting on film as well, or just the time,
Oh, that definitely matters.
but Rinsler does a great job of getting the right composition on everybody here, and it's an exquisite looking film, even as tough it is at times to watch the film. So love it. Think it's great.
Would you have liked to have seen Tupac in this?
No, I think that would have distracted. I honestly like the fact that it's a lot of actors we don't know. I think it's a lot of like the chance for discovery. I think we're discovering these guys using more discovery. I think Tupac would have overshadowed the film. And much like then you would have 1000% also, Jay, had even more comparisons to Boys in the Hood because that has Ice Cube in it, right? And so you would have had like the back and forth of that as well too. And so I don't know. I mean, like I like Tupac. I like his
How
music.
many Tupac movies have you seen? He
You'd
wasn't in a
have
ton.
he wasn't in a ton.
I mean, Poetic Justice, I think, is the only Tupac movie I've
I
seen.
think that's the only one I've seen as
That's a
well.
Singleton movie.
Yeah.
I haven't
And
seen Juice. You should probably see Juice.
Juice
Ernest
is
Dickerson.
I got Juice on the shelf over there.
I haven't watched it yet.
Haven't pulled
Mm.
out Juice.
Above the Rim.
Well, I've seen Above the Rim.
Okay, there you
It's
go.
all right. It's okay. Yeah. I just don't think he would have worked here. I mean, I understand him wanting to be in it, but I think it would have been a distraction. That's my
He was
take.
the
Maybe I,
musical guest on an episode of SNL hosted by Tom Arnold.
okay. I'm not going there. You're
I
not
think
going
this
to.
would have been around, well, no, it was after True Lies. So what was he doing?
Well, Tom Arnold, True Lies. Well, didn't he have a TV show or something? Like he was married to Roseanne at the time.
Well, he was married to Roseanne for sure. That was
Yeah,
probably what he was most famous for.
probably so.
So
Yeah. Okay.
good for
Jay,
him.
before we
He
get
was
out of
on
here.
9 episodes of General Hospital.
Shh. Before we get out of here, we're gonna test your award
He had
season
a whole
knowledge.
sitcom. It was just
God
called
damn,
Tom.
I hate when you do this. Based on the film we just reviewed, Menace II Society, in a segment we like to call It's an Honor to Get Nominated. Jay, acclaimed film.
Yeah.
How many stars did Raj give it? Don't look it up.
Oh boy. I'm gonna say 2.
You think Raj gave this two
I
stars?
think Raj gave this 2 stars.
Double it.
He gave it 4.
Raj gave it four.
He gave it the Roger stamp.
He gave it the Roger stamp of approval, my friend.
Wow.
Yeah, Raj gave it four.
What would
He
you give
liked it.
this one? How many stars you giving it on
Am
the
I
old
doing?
letterbox?
I was gonna say, you give me the letterbox.
Yeah, this is one a half to 5.
Either four and a half. Probably
Yeah,
four and a.
I'm right there. I'm right there with you. I got to decide.
I'm thinking because of this conversation, I'm thinking
Very
four
good
and a
film.
half.
Yeah, that happens so often.
How many times do you give the star bump, half star bump, just because we had a great conversation about it? All time?
Um, Regularly for sure.
Is there ever a chance where, like, when we talked about it, and you're like, "Pff, knock it down"?
Yeah, closer. I was like, the things that you're saying that you like about it, I hate.
You
So
were just like, Ryan's actually making.
I'm going down.
He's making no sense here. Get him out of here. You know, I don't know what to tell you. I like Closer. It's a good movie.
What was the Mike Nichols John Travolta movie? Primary Colors?
Yeah, that one.
That's one I liked less after we talked about it.
Yeah, because it's not good.
Yeah.
Even I admitted that.
Yeah.
And May wrote it. You know there's a 4K out of that thing now.
Well, thank God.
Yeah, they tried to send me, and I was like, that's okay. I don't need that one.
I'm good.
I'm okay. I'm not gonna watch. That's one. Jay always says to me, "Do you really need the hemina of that movie? You're never gonna watch it again." And I go, "Yeah, I would like that one to complete because we're completists."
Just to have on the shelf.
And that's one where I'm like, you know what, Jay? I think you're right. I don't need that one. That's okay. That was a great episode with Ben, if I'm not mistaken. And but yeah, Raj gave it the old four. Was this nominated for any Academy Awards, buddy?
Too challenging. No nominations.
You're correct. It was nominated for 3 Indie Spirit Awards that year.
Okay. So I'm going to say
1993.
screenplay.
No.
Oh.
No.
Mm.
Ooh, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say actor.
4
I don't know.
for which young man?
Oh, well, now you're making me think that it might be maybe not the lead, and I apologize. I
Or
can't
maybe it
remember.
is, and you just need to say his
Okay.
name.
All right. Just do it.
Tyron
I,
Turner,
yeah, there we go.
best male lead.
I exited off the page so I couldn't remember his name.
He's that is correct. All right. It's 2 others. He was nominated. He did not win.
How about director?
No. Close though.
Supporting actress?
Nope.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I know.
What else is there? I don't know what else there is at the Indie Spirits.
Well, what did we talk about that was a big highlight?
Cinematography.
Yeah, it won. Lisa
It won
Rinsler.
cinematography. Good job, Lisa.
And then
I should have gotten you more work.
what is this movie for the Hughes brothers?
Oh, first film.
It's
That's
their
an award at the
it's
Indie
first
Spirits.
feature. They got
Okay.
best first feature. It lost that award.
Hmm.
It
To
lost
what?
it to El Mariachi from Robert Rodriguez,
Robert Rodriguez. Okay.
which was
Film
a
I've
movie.
never seen.
I've seen it. It's a fine film. It was a movie made on a $7,000 budget. The post production was $200,000. It made $2 million at the box office. Um,
I bet it probably has the same powerful messaging that Menace to Society does.
it doesn't. I
Oh,
mean
okay.
the other.
Interesting.
I mean Desperado and Once Upon a Time in Mexico are better films than it. Um, just because he's got more budget to do. Do you know what won best film that year at the Indie Spirit Awards?
I do not. Is it a big movie?
It's a big one for you.
Oh my God. This is
You
the year
ready?
of short. Is it Shortcuts?
It would be none other than Robert Altman's Shortcuts.
Good pull by me,
And best director went to
Robert Altman.
Robert Altman for Shortcuts.
Good job.
Yeah.
He does feel too big to win an Indie Spirit Award. I will say.
Well, Jay, they now have an award called the Robert Altman Award. So I don't
Hmm.
necessarily think, yeah,
Okay.
I don't think you're wrong there. I think it's kind of silly that he was winning awards at an indie spirit place at that moment of his career. Because it's not like his career needed it. He was Robert
Right.
fucking
And
Altman.
he used to be one of the biggest makers who got big budgets.
Yes. This was the year, though, at the
Interesting.
Oscars that Steven Spielberg dominated the Oscars.
Yep.
This was the year of Schindler's List. We've talked about this year before. This was the year of Schindler's List, The Fugitive, In the Name of the Father, The Piano, and The Remains of the Day.
Okay.
Gonna say I would take out In the Name of the Father and move this one in.
Get out of here, DDL.
Wouldn't kick him out of the performance. Just saying, slide him in there.
Okay.
Um,
I have not seen In the Name of the Father. So
it's a
get
good. It's
Jim
a.
Sheridan out of here.
It is a
Put the
fine.
Hughes Bros in there.
Put them in there. Robert Altman also nominated for Best Director at the Oscars.
How are you feeling about Shortcuts these days?
A movie I desperately.
That was one of our divergent reviews. I think it's one of my favorite movies ever, and you were like, eh.
It's one of those I really need to rewatch
I need
because
to
I
rewatch it too, just to
just
feel
because
something.
I'm not watching that with you.
No, no, no,
No, we don't have the
no,
time.
no.
But if we did, maybe. Um,
I throw Menace to Society in picture, director,
cinematography,
yeah, cinematography for sure, screenplay,
screenplay is original screenplay is kind of ridiculous. Though it's an interesting lineup. That's
In the
written
Line of
directed.
Fire. That's a weird one.
The Piano, Dave, In the Line of Fire, Philadelphia, Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle is not a very good screenplay. I'll
Wow,
say
you're really coming out.
decent movie, absolutely ridiculous.
Okay,
But maybe
I don't know if I would put
maybe
the.
that's a feature and not a bug.
Can I tell you something? Don't know if I put
Mhm.
the Philadelphia screenplay in there either.
Mm.
I think that, and I think Dave's all right.
I think Philadelphia is very good.
I mean, it's very good. I don't know if like the screenplay is the reason why I'm watching it.
Mm.
I just think Demi's direction's so good and
Na, 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 na,
performances are really great.
na,
I don't
na,
understand how
na,
Denzel
na,
wasn't
na.
nominated. That one's kind of shocking. It's like literally half of his movie. It's as much Hanks movies as it is Denzel's, in my opinion. What do you think about that? Is it
Um,
because he's unsympathetic is why people don't like him?
I
Why he didn't get
mean,
in?
it. I mean, Hanks is very clearly the number one lead.
I think he's 1A and Denzel's 1B. I think it's a co-lead. But
I
because
would
Hanks is playing the
generally
guy,
agree with you,
because
but
Hanks is playing the guy that is, he's got the transformation. So that's why he's and he's dying. So that's why he's the lead in the face of it.
What's the more impactful song, Streets of Philadelphia by Bruce Springsteen or Philadelphia by Neil Young?
Oh man. Well, as a Bruce fan, Streets of Philadelphia rules. But I know
That
Eric
Neil Young song destroys me.
but it's a great Neil Young song. And Eric also no we actually had a conversation about this at Telluride, like a brief one. Because he always says that Springsteen has Neil Young's Oscar. Like it should be
Yeah.
Neil Young.
I can't believe they got original songs from Springsteen
And
and Neil
Neil Young.
Young
Well, it's
for
Demi.
Philadelphia.
Demi was like a big. He did a lot of
He was a big music
Springsteen.
guy.
No,
Also,
he did
I
a lot of
think
like
just a
Springsteen concert
yeah,
stuff
he
and
did a lot
whatever.
of Springsteen stuff.
Yeah.
I also just think he's a good guy that people like working with.
I
So
swear to God, if Jonathan Demme was still alive, he would have been doing the Springsteen film and would have done it 10 times better than Scott Cooper. Easily.
how dare you?
Well, I mean, Scott Cooper's kind of like a
Tommy
just
Lee
a,
Jones' win for The Fugitive is so awesome. We need to give more awards to people in movies like The Fugitive.
yeah, it's just kind of like the hey, you're really goddamn good in this. Also,
Trying to think of
it's
like what would the equivalent of that be?
how the hell was Ford not nominated for that movie?
That would be like if
I don't understand that.
Brana got a Best Supporting Actor for Tenet,
I knew you were going to bring it up, and you're absolutely right.
and he should have.
Yeah. I don't even know I don't know, Tommy Lee. I don't know if I give him it though.
Out of these, I mean, Fiennes is probably the guy to give it to.
Fines are, I mean, even DiCaprio's great. Gilbert Grape.
Yeah, DiCaprio's great. Fiennes and Schindler's List
Yeah,
is
it's
undeniable.
just an undeniable performance in I'm going to say it, a fine film.
Are you saying fine as in not great or
Yeah.
fine as in, oh, you're saying not a great movie?
I've come around to I think Jurassic Park's the better film of this year for him.
Interesting. I think they're both
It's
pretty
a
great.
little too, you know what it is, to go and use the phrase you said earlier for me.
Hmm.
A little too miserable for me.
I think that movie is very propulsive and watchable, which honestly you could use as a complaint about
Yeah.
the movie.
It's a little too it's I don't know.
The thing about Schindler's List is that it has a strong traditional narrative
Yeah,
backbone to
I
it.
get you. There's just
Maybe
other
that's the one. Maybe that's the one we watch while you're here.
you know what?
Maybe we reassess Schindler's List.
Only if you allow your son to watch it with us.
Get a couple G and T's in you. Watch some Schindler's List.
No. No, I think there's just other historical dramas from Spielberg that I like more.
Hmm.
Like I love Munich, and I think Lincoln's very good.
Now,
Bridge
this
of
was the same year
Spies.
as Poetic Justice. I didn't realize that.
Bridge of Spies.
Oh, a song from Beethoven's Second got nominated for Best Song.
Movie you've seen?
Probably when I was a kid.
Okay.
I did just not recently, but within the last couple years, rewatched Beethoven, the original.
Because of Grodin.
Yeah, he's giving an elite performance.
Well, he's
And
your
also,
guy.
Beethoven's Second is a great title,
Yeah,
a
that's.
great sequel
I gotta tell you,
bit.
much like you know what else, Jay? Menace II Society.
Menace II Society
We need to have more movies
with Roman
with
numerals.
with Roman or just numbers in the titles, like
Mm.
highest to lowest.
Yeah,
Great job, Spike.
he really
Wonderful.
went for it.
Did you like it?
I liked it. I didn't love it. That score. Oh my God.
Fun movie though.
What were they doing?
Denzel's great.
Denzel, always great.
Always. When is Denzel ever bad? Never.
Truly never.
Truly never. I agree. Maybe the films aren't always the best,
Yeah.
but he's always wonderful. Because he can turn it on,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a movie star. So Jay,
Yes.
tell everybody where they can find you and all your work on the internet, and a recommendation of the week.
Yeah. Find me on Letterboxd, J Ledbetter. Twitter at Mr. J Ledbetter. Anything I'm writing about, you can find on awardswatch.com. My recommendation of the week, Ryan, this is going to be the weirdest recommendation we've ever had on this podcast.
I'm sure it's not. Let's go.
I recently watched several Barry Sanders highlight videos, and I think everyone should go and do that if you want to see superhuman speed and agility. It is unbelievable. So go check out some Barry Sanders highlight videos. Barry Sanders, of course, a famous running back. He had a disappointingly short career with the Detroit Lions, who were a terrible team while he was playing. And I think that contributed to him deciding to retire a little bit early. But he was an absolute freak of nature. So go watch Barry Sanders highlight videos.
Okay, truly did not see that coming.
Yeah.
And
Did I live up to the weirdest recommendation we've had?
yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did a good
They're
job there.
so good.
He was, yeah. I've too fallen down that YouTube, TikTok, whatever rabbit hole you fell down
Mhm.
of watching his highlights, and yeah, he's like,
I was doing a lot of running back highlight. I'll tell you one I did, Ryan, which you'll appreciate. I
oh
did some
boy.
Ricky Williams college highlight videos.
Well,
He was very good.
now you're just watching one of the goats, you
Yeah,
know.
man, he was very good. It's
Ricky,
not Barry Sanders,
no,
but
but he
it's
was an
pretty impressive.
unstoppable force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in
He
college for sure.
into college, yeah. Well, I mean, he became the leading rusher in college all time.
Hmm.
You know how he did it?
Till Ron Dane,
Yeah. You know how
he
he
did
did it?
it by token up pregame.
Well, maybe I don't know. But he scored. He broke the record on like a 50-yard touchdown right up the gut.
Mm,
Took two guys in the end zone from A&M with him.
okay.
So yeah, he got the record on a touchdown, which is
Anyways,
badass.
Barry Sanders highlight videos.
CJ didn't want to do this because he opened up the floodgates of
Check
me
him out. Yeah,
talking
no,
about
I
my
was
guy.
just wanting to give credit to Ricky Williams. He's a great running back
He's a great running back.
until Ron Dane broke his record.
Do we talk about Ron Dane in the same way?
No, very boring
Yeah,
runner.
very, very boring.
Does he
Yes,
still have the record
I think doesn't LaDainian Tomlinson have it?
in college
Or no, does what's his face? Did Genty get it?
for career? I don't think so.
That was
I'm
just
looking it
season,
up. I'm
right?
looking it up. You do your stuff.
Okay. Don't interrupt me because you do that. Um, he's gonna interrupt me now once he fucking finds it. I might as well just vamp until he finds it. But you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, Ryan McQuade 77. You can find all my work here at awardswatch.com. If you like podcasts, we have the one on the Bain Show that's released every Monday. We also have editors podcasts during award season talking about Oscar predictions and stuff. iTunes and Spotify 5-star reviews.
Donnell Pumphrey. Uh, he played at
I was trying to get it all out before he.
San Diego State, 2013 to 2016. I'm calling it illegitimate. Does not count.
So then, who would still have the record?
Ron Dane.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify. While you're over on the website, please sign up for the newsletter. It's the best place to get all of our news, reviews, interviews, and podcasts into you all in one place. At the time of recording, Jay has not seen this film. I think he will see this film later this year. There's a couple of things to recommend, and so I'm going to recommend them. One of them is Kelly Reichardt's newest film, The Mastermind, with Josh O'Connor. That is in theaters right now.
Ricky Williams' senior year averaged 193 yards a game.
That's crazy, isn't it?
That is insane.
That's
Anyway,
insane.
Kelly Reichardt. Something about
Mastermind.
Kelly Reichardt.
Yeah. Kelly Reichardt's The Mastermind. It's a heist film done by a 70s heist film done via Kelly Reichardt in the only way that she could do it, which is more deliberately paced and also meditative on the wandering state of an individual in the 1970s, played by Josh O'Connor. Then there's also Blue Moon, which is the latest film from Richard Linklater. He has 2 films this year, but this is the one with Ethan Hawke. This is about Lorenz Hart on the eve of Richard Rodgers and Hammerstein's boom with Oklahoma. Hart, who was a longtime collaborator with Rodgers, is at Sardis, and he is very much is a screenplay carried film.
He also averaged 33 carries a game.
You should all check it out. It's one of Hawk's best performances of his
Too
career,
many carries.
working alongside with the only guy that we really should at this point see him work with, which is his
2,100 yards in a
most known
season.
collaborator, Richard Linklater. Linklater having a great year, Jay. Two great films from him. On a bit of a renaissance for Linklater after
27 touchdowns.
Hitman and Apollo 8.5. You're not a big Linklater guy usually, Jay, but
Not my favy.
I do think you're going to like both of these films. Man, I don't think you'll love them, but I think you'll have a deep respect for him. He's batting a good B plus on films right now, and I think he's about to break open the floodgates on something new that'll be
Okay.
really really great. And then
Menace to Society too. Menace 3
Three
Society.
Society. Um, Lastly, also that'll hit Netflix. It's in limited theaters this weekend. Is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein? Not really much more you need to say there, other than it's a Guillermo del Toro movie and it's Frankenstein, a movie that a lot of people don't really like. I liked it more than other people. I think it's from a visual standpoint and just like a technical aspect, all the below the line stuff, Jay, behind the scenes stuff, it is impeccably put together. And some of the story stuff, not the best. Has a great opening. Oscar Isaac's really good. Jacob Elordi actually very good as the monster. Um, wish it was a little bit more honestly fleshed out in the third act to really hit those emotional heights of the story. But Del Toro got a big blank check from Netflix to make a Frankenstein movie, and he kind of delivered his version of it. And try to see it on the big screen if you get a chance. It's a long one though. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Speaking of long, you just gave like 6 recommendations. That was
I know.
absurd.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I
you
gave.
can do 3 or 4 more if you want.
Well,
I
there.
recommended Barry Sanders highlight
Yeah,
videos.
I wanted to actually get some films in there because nobody in their fucking right mind's going to do what you just recommended this
Watch
week.
them. They're short and they're incredible.
No, because you don't need people getting addicted on small clips. Like that is a thing happening out
Oh,
there in the world that is absolutely
mine were
dangerous.
longer YouTube videos, but if you see a TikTok of Barry Sanders, I'm sure that's good as well.
Don't do it. No. You know that this is a thing.
I'm
That
going to
you're.
start recommending TikToks.
I swear to God, if you do that, I will cut it out of every episode that you do it.
Political TikToks.
Oh my God, even worse. No, no, we're not far enough away from all stuff just for you. Like Mauritania on any
This is our
political.
second to last episode. Because next episode, I'm going political TikToks.
Well, we are talking about what film next, Jay?
Dead Presidents, correct?
There you go. So it
Yeah.
only makes sense that we're also going to be our last episode because we're getting political. Maybe Jay hasn't even seen the film, so he doesn't know what it's
Haven't
about.
seen it. You haven't either.
I haven't seen it either. I'm
Yeah,
was
God, shots fired at me,
and
then
then
again.
shots fired right
Oh my
back.
God.
Anyway, we will be back next week to talk about Dead Presidents. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you all next time.